Alright guys, today I'm going to be going over 3 ways that you can measure your health at home. They're cheap, easy, and effective. I'm not going to be going over as much the complicated details of how these measurements work, but instead I'm going to be going over why they're important, what are the negative consequences of getting a bad score, and then how to fix a bad score. So I find that in this self-improvement space, there's a lot of people that are a bit overly focused on having, these proper health measurements. So what I'm going to give you in this video today are the 3 measurements that I think give you a really solid baseline on figuring out, do you have, good metabolic health? And they're good in the fact that they can be done very quickly and they can all be improved through lifestyle factors. Okay, so for the first measurement that I have, this is blood pressure. So for all the measurements I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to give a brief explanation of what they are. I'm not going to go too in deep. I mostly want to focus on why you should measure it and how you're going to fix it. And so what is blood pressure? It's basically the force that's exerted on the walls of your blood vessel by the circulating blood. And so it's super easy to measure. All you need is one of these cuffs, like the one I put on the screen. They're super cheap to buy and have a personal one, but you can also get this done for free at the doctor's office, or you can get this done at a pharmacy. Sometimes they have them on the outside of a pharmacy. So it's important that when you do get this test done, that you're making sure that you're getting multiple tests to get an average of the reading over multiple days, and that you make sure you are well rested when you do get one of these tests. Because if you're getting this after the gym, you're going to have an artificially inflated blood pressure reading. So why is this important, like long-term thinking? Essentially, if you have high blood pressure, this can lead to heart disease and even a stroke. So you want to fix the blood pressure when you're young. You want to get it at as soon as possible. You want to fix that issue as soon as possible. But also another reason is that fixing this will actually lead to better pumps in the gym and the bedroom. It can actually fix issues such as morning wood or lack thereof. And so the reason for this is because you need proper blood flow to transport nutrients and oxygen, and having that proper blood flow is what can give you a better pump in the gym. If you think about it, a lot of the medicine or a lot of the medications and supplements that are used for this, like Cialis, like L-citrulline that could be found in pre-workout, they lower your blood pressure, and if you have elevated blood pressure, and they help promote better blood circulation. So this is something you want to get tested because it's super easy to do, super easy to monitor, and it's good for it can have short-term impacts that are beneficial, but more importantly, there's these long-term effects that could be life or death. So you got to get that checked out. So these are the blood pressure categories right here. You want to be in, you get 2 readings with this, so you want to be in the 120 range. And for the first reading, which is the upper number, and then for the second reading, you want to be in the 80 range right there. So it's kind of like what it's written right there. All right, so let's say you got a bad reading. This is specifically for high blood pressure. What do you want to do? Exercise is the main thing. Make sure you're getting your steps, right? You need blood flow, proper blood flow in your body. In order to do that, you can't be sitting all day. Like for me, as a career, I'm a computer engineer. So a lot of the time I'm sitting, but I've made sure to take, not longer than an hour straight of just sitting. People around you might think, okay, this guy uh, can't sit in the same spot for an hour. So like I can, but you need to make sure that you have that blood flow so that you don't deal with issues such as high blood pressure. The other things are, you got to lose your excess body fat if you have it. Fix your stress management, right? This means go out, be social. That's like one big thing, kind of like from my last video about sports, right? It's all encompassing in this way. So I want to make sure you do something like that. And then you can also go to your doctor if these things aren't getting fixed, and they might have some medication, but definitely do your research. I'd say beforehand, and more than just doing your research, do everything that you can aside from medication first. Interestingly, there is actually the ED medication Cialis. I've seen people actually use that. Again, not a recommendation, but It's a pretty interesting medication, pretty interesting drug that actually has a lot of other benefits that I think maybe one day I'll actually make a video on. Okay, so the next thing I have here is hand grip strength. Yeah, hand grip strength is a very strong predictor of longevity, how recovered you are from your training, your testosterone levels. Yeah, I know that's a big one that people want to measure. Yeah, you can literally get a very strong correlation to your testosterone levels by simply checking what your hand grip is, and then also the cognitive function that you're gonna have, as you grow older. It's very closely related to your hand grip strength, and it's so easy to do it every day. I personally don't do it every day anymore, but at the beginning, when you're trying to improve your score through lifestyle factors, it's a lot easier. And as you can see, it's pretty cheap. It's only about like $27, I guess, from the link that I found. Again, it's no benefit to me whether you get it or not. I'm just here to basically give out some information that I actually wish I had. It's really nice to get something cheap to measure, all these all these health markers properly. So yeah, I wish it's something that I had, right? And I wish it's something I knew earlier. So it's just me trying to, give back to you guys. So initially, I even had my skepticisms about all the benefits of hand grip strength, but essentially, the reason why that it's so correlated with testosterone levels and androgen status is because testosterone itself plays a massive role in muscle development, neuromuscular development, right? So your motor units on how you can recruit them, bone density, and energy metabolism, and so all of these things are kind of culminated in hand grip strength. And so it makes it a really useful indicator, for your hormonal health. And among other things, there's actually a really interesting report. I'll put it down in the description, and it contains a lot of data on different ages and male and female hand grip strength data that they've collected, and all the benefits aside from what I've even listed. Right, I've listed just the main ones, so a lot of people have started catching up to hand grip strength, and what I see people doing, like this guy on YouTube here, I think his name is Brian Johnson, is that I've seen them start using like strengtheners for their hand grip, but that's not where the benefits lie, in my opinion, because you're using this as a metric to track other health markers, right? So what you want to do is just improve your hormonal profile through lifestyle habits. So you'll notice a lot of commonalities between here, but yes, naturally just improve your lifestyle, right? Have a diet that's dense in nutrients, right? You're eating stuff that is basically mostly whole foods. You're doing your weightlifting, you're doing your cardio, you're getting your steps in, right? Those are all things that naturally improve our lifestyle and that naturally increase our testosterone. You want to reduce your stress, be social, right, with both genders. You want to have competition in your life. You want to dial in your sleep, right? All the things that kind of we know they're are good for us, you can help track your progress on them using the hand grip strength. The metric I have is blood sugar, and so this is crucial to assess your metabolic health and to make sure you don't have a condition like insulin resistance or diabetes. And so it's pretty easy to measure. I put it up on the screen right there. All you need is like one of those finger prick blood sugar, blood glucose monitors. And so you want to make sure that you're doing this in the morning, right? So it's technically fasted to get a consistent result. Okay, so why do you want to make sure that you don't have bad blood sugar levels? Well, essentially, what bad blood sugar levels mean is that your body is not able to process glucose and even amino acids properly. So that's going to have a negative effect on any fat loss. So it's going to increase fat gain. It's going to slow down muscle gain. It will have a bad effect on your cognition. It can same thing with nutrient absorption, inflammation, hair loss, the energy you feel, right? There's a lot of things that are negatively affected when your body can't properly absorb glucose and amino acids. And so what that means kind of through a physique is like a lot of the time you see people with that skinny fat physique that have issues processing carbs, right? Stuff like with bad, what's correlated with bad blood sugar levels. So another thing that you can do on top of what I already mentioned, right? All those things that I previously mentioned that can help fix your hand grip strength and can help improve your blood pressure, those same things apply here. But on top of that, you can look into kind of managing your carbs and make sure you're not eating a lot of refined carbohydrates, and that you're using carbs as kind of fuel. You want to use it as like post workout to replenish the muscle glycogen. But I can make future videos kind of detailing all these steps that I had. How to improve your sleep, how to have more competition, reduce stress, all that stuff. Okay, where does this leave us? Well, we have the three things that I think that everybody needs to measure. Honestly, it's so cheap to do. Some of these are even free. For example, blood pressure, you can get that done at like a lot of pharmacies. Blood sugar, you can probably get a doctor to do it if you have free healthcare, or if that's part of a routine checkup. And hand grip strength, it's so cheap too. You buy it once, you have it forever. Even a bathroom scale actually could work, but I would suggest just buy this instead, so you have proper reading to assess, things like your recovery, where your testosterone levels are at roughly, all these things, right? And it's good because these three things are actual measurable data that you can, have over a long period of time to figure out, am I doing the right things to improve my health? So for my example, personally, I started with a hand grip at around 100. Yeah, and I've been able to get that to like a daily average of 150. In the morning, it's a little bit lower because you're still, waking up and you have a lot more cortisol. But, midday, 150 is like 140 is like a normal score for me. The next thing was blood pressure. I have high blood pressure in my family, and so this was kind of a wake up call when I saw that I was getting, 130 over 80, sometimes 140, and even in this case, I didn't get it too often, but a few times I got 150. And so I was able to fix it by, like I said, I am like by career, I'm a computer engineer, so I'm on the computer quite a bit. I was able to fix that by just simply walking more. I got like a stepper at home. Even this, I'm standing up right now instead of sitting down, and by incorporating just small things that you don't realize, like hitting the 10K steps per day, I was able to naturally lower it and not have to go on any medication. The third thing for blood sugar, like I said, I've only measured it a few times, well, more than a few times. But a lot of the things that I did to improve my hand grip strength and to improve my blood pressure uh, had it like a trickling effect to improve the blood sugar as well. Because blood sugar was the last of the three things I tested. There was like a few months gap uh, between these when I started testing these things. Uh, Before that, I'm almost positive, I had issues with blood sugar because I was at the deal at the beginning with like a skinny fat physique, and also in my family, there's a couple people that are pre-diabetic. Okay, so these are the three things, um, in conclusion. And you probably saw it's very similar, the same way that you fix all three of these issues. But I'm not a medical professional, so definitely this isn't medical advice. And, if you're having issues with any of these, even after exhausting the natural methods, I would suggest you go ahead and, speak to a medical professional, speak to a doctor. All right, other than that, I hope I was able to provide some value, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.